COVID-19 has brought us stories of loss, heartache, and despair, but we have also seen humanity pull together in acts of service and sacrifice. I have the story of a San Diego emergency nurse who did everything she could during the pandemic's darkest days to not only save lives, but lift spirits. A calling born from her childhood, a past not without pain. She's been called the dancing nurse. San Diego RN Anna Wilkinson answered the call when COVID-19 ravaged New York City.
Because I want to help. And I brought music into it because I felt that medicine can only go so far and I can bring music to them. And then I would dance. Some of them I danced with, and it was just lovely. And I felt like I was making a difference of just making them smile and just getting them out of the moment.
A journey she now says she was unprepared for that would have her away from her husband and two boys for weeks. She says it looked like a war zone. The first night, she lost 8 of her patients.
I cried 100%. I went back to my hotel and I cried, and my husband called me and he said, "How was it?" And I said, it was a rough night.
Psychologist and personality expert Dr. Richard Levac evaluates candidates for shows such as Survivor, Apprentice, and Amazing Race. He has no connection to Wilkinson, but says first responders are unique.
There are some people who are kind of bulletproof. They're resilient. They seem to thrive on adversity. They like to challenge themselves.
Wilkinson was the last smile ever seen by dozens of patients she grew close to.
I did what I used, took off my mask, took off my gloves, and I held his hand and I said, "I'm here for you."
A caring strength so few could muster in such times of sorrow. Dr. Levac says generally it suggests that she's either a resilient daredevil or it comes from a deeper place.
Either she had been through trauma or illness or the death or illness of someone she was close to.
Now overcoming the hurt.
And she is conquering her own trauma or past scar tissue.
As it happens, that is the case for Wilkinson. Hidden behind her mask and dance moves are the wounds of her childhood.
At age 15, my mother passed away. It was rough. But on top of that, I also lived in a foster home as a child. And I also carried a lot of baggage as I was, hit by my mother as a child and had 2 black eyes going to school and thought that was normal.
Her mother's alcoholism and the abuse that came with it was there as far back as she can remember. The family came to the U.S. as refugees from Nicaragua when Anna was 3.
I carry all this, but I feel like my past doesn't define me, but it does make me see things differently.
Wilkinson says it's made her stronger, and she cares for her patients from a place of compassion, empathy, and shared humanity, giving those fighting COVID what they need most: companionship.
The most important thing to survive this is that you not feel alone.
Her small acts, according to Levac, having huge positive effects.
My patients passed, but I was with them. I held their hand, and because my motto is nobody dies alone.
Wilkinson has been compared by her patients to an American physician well known in the 70s for bringing humor to patients. Dr. Patch Adams organized travels all over the world. Many times he and his volunteers dressed as clowns to bring a little cheer in hard times. And you can follow Anna Wilkinson's global trips and local experiences on her Instagram, which we have included at 10news.com.